Once upon a time, when women sang to the moon and the moon sang back, and when men whispered to the stars and the stars shared their secrets. There was a merchant. He had 3 daughters, and the youngest's name was Mariuszka. When the girl's mother died, Mariuszka took on all of the work to save her father from having to marry again. And as she cooked and cleaned and scrubbed and fixed and tended and mended, her 2 elder sisters primped and preened and groomed and beautified and spent all day staring into the mirror. Because what mattered most to them was that every time they left the house, every young man around would look at just how gorgeous they were. One day, the merchant had to go to market, and he called his children to him, "Beloved doves, tell me your heart's desire. Whatever you want, I will bring for you from the market. What do you wish for?" And the 2 elder sisters immediately, "Father, we want rings. We want rings and bangles and bracelets so that we glitter with gold, and every time we walk out of the house, all the young men look at us twinkling." Mariuszka asked her father for a single red flower. The merchant went to market, and it was not hard to find stall after stall of rings and bangles and bracelets and trinkets that he brought home in boxes for his eldest 2. But nowhere, no stall, no shop, no street seller anywhere in that place had a single red flower. And the merchant came home with a crease in his brow, sad to disappoint his youngest daughter. The elder 2 sisters immediately snatched the boxes and adorned themselves with trinkets and practiced catching the light just so. Mariuszka kept quiet. "Don't worry, father, next time." And the next time came. The merchant was going to market. "Beloved doves, tell me your heart's desire. Whatever you ask for, I will bring you from the market." And the eldest 2 demanded long swathes of fine cloth, shot through with gold and silver so that they would look like queens. Mariuszka asked for a single red flower. And the merchant at the market found stall after stall of bolts of cloth, and he brought home package after package for his eldest 2 daughters, but nowhere, not a single stall or shop or street seller had any red flowers. And he came home with a heavy heart, sad to disappoint his youngest. The eldest 2, as soon as they had snatched those cloths out of their boxes and wrapped them around themselves and were practicing strutting up and down, they jeered at their sister. "What were you thinking, asking for such a stupid present? You could be looking as gorgeous and as glamorous as us. Red flowers, rubbish." But Mariuszka kept quiet. "Next time, father, don't worry." And the 3rd time came. "Beloved doves, tell me your heart's desire." The heart's desire of the eldest 2 was for boots. Fine leather boots with silver heels that would go tippity, 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 tap every time they walked, so that when they strutted down the street, every young man would hear their feet and look at them. Mariuszka asked for a single red flower. And the merchant found cobblers aplenty and brought home boots. But no stalls, no shops, no sellers had any red flowers. And as he walked home, he was weighed down on his shoulders with more than just the packs he carried. He looked so forlorn that he caught the eye of an old man walking down the street towards him. "Tell me, my friend, what is it that weighs so heavy on your shoulders? Something burdens you beside your packs." And the merchant told him of this hunt, this long search for a red flower. And the old man's eyes twinkled. He reached into his tattered pack and brought out a battered box. When the merchant opened it, inside, a single red flower, soft, lush petals, the colour of blood. How much? I'll give you anything you ask for this flower. It's for my daughter, and I have searched high and low. This flower is not for sale, but I will give it to one of true heart. Take it for your daughter, and may it bring her luck and love. The merchant came home with a spring in his step, and the eldest two sisters immediately pulled out their boots and pulled them on and started to practice tippity-tappity walking up and down. But even they stopped to look as Mariuszka opened that battered box and gazed on her red flower. Without a word, she went up to her room. She locked the door. She put the flower in a vase, put the vase on the window, and waited. The sun had set, and the sky was darkening to a deep, soft blanket of blue. And out of that dusky sky, shooting like an arrow straight down to her window, there came flying a great falcon with burnished wings of bronze feathers and talons of gold. As he came shooting down out of the blue, the windows flew open. He landed his talons on the floor and he transformed into a gorgeous young man. Finist, the bright falcon, stood in Mariuszka's room. Their eyes met, and love bubbled like a waterfall between them. All that night, Finist stayed in Mariuszka's room. And they talked and they talked and they talked, turning words into love. As the sun rose, she opened the windows again. He transformed back into a bird and shot out into the lightning blue. Mariuszka went downstairs to start the day's chores. But as she worked all day, her body in the work, her mind was up in the sky with that soaring bird. And when night came, again she locked her door, put the flower in the window, and out of the dusky sky, shooting like a shooting star, Finist swooped down, transformed. And they spent all night turning words into love. When he left at dawn the next morning, Mariuszka back down to start the day's work, she didn't notice the cruel, jealous glares of her sisters. They'd heard the talking in the night, and they were poisoned with envy and disapproval. While Mariuszka was working, they went up to her room. They took with them long needles, knives, shards of glass, and they stuck these all around the outside of her window. Then they locked it shut and took the key. That night, Mariuszka locked her bedroom door, put the flower in the window and waited. And she was so tired. the long days of work, the long nights of love. As she waited for Finist, the bright falcon, she fell asleep. And so she didn't see, as he came soaring down to windows that wouldn't open. She didn't see, as he beat his wings and the barbs cut and sliced at his feathers, so that feathers and blood fell from his broken wings. But in her sleep, she did hear the words he spoke. Mariushka, the windows have been barred against me, and now I must go. I must fly to the other side of the world, beyond the thrice-ninth kingdom. And if you ever want to see me again, you must wear through 3 pairs of iron shoes. You must break 3 iron staves, and you must eat your way through 3 loaves of stone before you can see me again. And then he flew brokenly away. Mariushka woke. She woke and she looked and saw the locked window dripping with blood and feathers. And she heard the words her beloved had called. 3 pairs of iron shoes, 3 iron staves, 3 loaves of stone, beyond the thrice-ninth kingdom. Mariushka didn't hesitate. She got up and she left. She went to the blacksmith who made her the things of iron. She went to the mason who carved her the loaves of stone. And without looking back, Mariushka began to walk. Hey ho, all alone, forest dark and path unknown. Will she find the strength to go? Hey ho, loaf of stone, iron shoes and no going home. Walk the path the bird has flown. Hey ho, all alone.